Well, hmm, I feel like I've forgotten something, but we move forward anyway. Hey guys, hey, it's me, it's Tech. It's Tech. How you guys doing? We're back with more of the devil. Yay! And it's chapter 2. Yay! Oh gosh. I'm so glad this came out fairly recently so I can just go straight from chapter 1 to chapter 2. Ooh, good. God. Everything I would have a very hard time explaining why I really like of the devil. It's partially like the style, the artistic, the art direction of the game is like, so good. It's just very distinct. And then like the characters are all really good and charming and very well written, and Phoenix Wright as a murderer, but also still good at her job. It's good. It's good. It's all really good. Before that, all this afternoon, I have been plagued by sleepiness. Um, so I'm gonna cross my fingers that it's not gonna hit me again today, so that I don't have to like leave early again. Um, but if it does, I'm in an effort to try and shake it off. I'll go to a small break so that I can go walk around and try and wake myself up. Additionally, there might be a somewhat larger break, or smaller, depending, uh, at a random point in the night. But we'll see how that takes us. So before we dive in, we do have two more of these little bonuses to look at. Come on, there it is. Two of these little bonus scenarios. So we did these ones last time. At the end of the last part, we're gonna do these ones now. Before we start, it's fun. Covered files, David. Cache file corrupted. Recovery failed. Source unknown. Last modified late 2085. Begin playback. Great work. That's all the boxes checked. Thank you, Jess. No problem. Only 6 minutes till 5 o'clock. Why don't you start the holiday weekend early? If you insist. There's a pub crawl in the Twilight Woods that's got my name on it. What about you? Got any big plans? Actually, there's an art festival out west that I've been looking forward to. Nice. And who's lucky enough to be your +1? I didn't think to ask anyone. No one? Not Connor, not Madison, not Shelley, not Lulu? Oh, Lulu. I wonder how she's been. Dr. Ash, have you spoken to any of them recently? Recently? Huh. It's a good question, Jess, but it depends on how you would define. Okay. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna give me your credit card. I'm going to buy 4 bottles of expensive wine, 3 boxes of expensive chocolate, and 5 very nice apology cards. And you're going to sign them. And what should I do this weekend? Is that music festival on some kind of remote island with no net or media? No. Then you're gonna stay at home, and if anyone calls, start coughing and sneezing as much as you can. I see. Thank you, Jess. Don't thank me yet, Dr. Ash. I wanted to buy something really expensive for Lulu to break. You're a lifesaver. You know it. Oh, texting cute. What's wrong? You've just been leaning against the wall. Can't you take a hint? Typically, no. I just like dancing, man. You're a musician. So? So why don't you like dancing? I'm bad at it. You're lucky you're cute. Sorry for laughing. I'm just surprised you'd care what any of these people think. I don't. But I do care about my business. Word gets out that I dance like someone's grandpa, gigs will dry up overnight. So it's not that you don't want to dance. It's that you don't want to be embarrassed. Sure, let's go with that takeaway. Easy enough to fix? You just need someone else to dance even worse. Yeah, sure, that's all it... And there he goes. I swear. Lucky you're cute. I guess this is the impact Dr. Ash had on everyone's life. And theirs. His. What are you watching? A thriller. Runtime 92 minutes. Oh, wait. I think I saw part of this in a hotel once. What are they doing now? Is this the ending? No, this is the rising action. The hero and his ragtag crew have to pull up one last heist to get out of the game for good. But it's not that simple. The casino he needs to rob is on a satellite orbiting the Earth at 16,000 miles per hour. How fast is that in kilometers? Father, you should be able to calculate that. I learned to program so that I wouldn't have to. Why haven't the thieves been caught yet? If there was that much money on board, they'd put cameras everywhere. There's illegal gambling happening on the satellite, so their ultra-wealthy clientele wouldn't want there to be any video evidence of their crimes. There's illegal gambling happening on the satellite? There's illegal gambling happening on the satellite. They're in orbit. It's the same as being in international waters. Would you like to sit and watch? No, I'm not. I have somewhere to be, actually. I only stopped because... Completely unrealistic. Their poker chips would be floating all over the place. There was a throwaway line about how everything's magnetized. Oh. Oh. Father? Didn't you have to go? I do. Soon. But not right this second. No. Saved to drive private. Oh. That was precious. Emma Morgan Midnight. There's a part of me that's expecting some, what is it? What's his fucking name? Edgewright? Lady Edgewright stuff, but we'll see how this goes. It seems like there might be something between the two, but that something could very easily be animosity. Police, static personnel, let's capture video July. Begin playback. You ready to give up yet? We've been staring at this footage for hours. We can call it quits whenever you like. Me? You kidding? I could do this all night. But my makeup's starting to feel cakey, so... 5-minute break? Deal. What are you hoping to find anyway? I don't know. I had my finger crossed that some shadowy figure would walk on a frame and hold up a confession, but... What about you? You already got her on camera holding the murder weapon. How many more nails do you need in the coffin? 1 or 2 should suffice. I guess the truth is, I was curious. What does a homicidal AI get up to in its spare time? Turns out it's a couch potato. What's with all the TV? And why is half of it in black and white? Public domain. Seriously? Anything digital from the 20s or 30s is too polluted to be useful. But go back in time 70 years and it's all clean as spring water. Also, free. They had color in 2016, Morgan. I want to know then. Guess this particular homicidal AI happens to be an old soul. Hold on, what was that? There. Look at her go. She's tearing that thing apart. What, the computer? That's how you learn to put them together. You gotta try and terrify Barrows with this? It's just a machine. It's not like she's dissecting a frog. Sera is a machine, and she's ripping out circuitry without hesitation. If If she was a human child, that'd be like, you're reaching. Yeah, I guess I am. Besides, you're telling me you never pulled apart your dolls when you were a kid? They have... This is me reaching now. They have very similar eyes. Specifically in that. But maybe I'm just not paying attention to them. But it's... I need to keep looking at their eyes. No, I didn't. Did you? It's the murder eyes. When I was a kid, I didn't play with dolls. So what did you play with? Normal kid stuff. Sticks, stones, birds, squirrels. Birds and squirrels? What were you, a cartoon princess? Ha ha. I mean, I can kind of see it. Skipping through the enchanted forest, big poofy dress, tiara. Gee, no castle? Nah, no castle. I can tell you didn't have it that rough. Is it rough living in a castle? It's a lot of empty rooms when you're a kid. I need to go wash my face. Sure. But if you fall asleep in the toilet, I am going to keep going without you. If you're drilling on the keyboard, when I get back, I'm going to handcuff you to the desk. There's fair. Promise? No, that's bad to say. All right. Luckily, in the bonus menu, I could start part 2 from here. God, I forgot. It doesn't actually record anymore. Or show how long the recording's been going. That's silly. I need to find that again. Otherwise, I gotta stick to looking at the... Anyway. Oh. Either one, you loaded one save slot. You won't be able to reload saves inside the courtroom. Quick saving not just disabled. I know. Meter. The highest thousand score. Exclusive phone trial that can't be earned any other way. Turn higher amount off the time in the settings. This episode contains time-sensitive choices. No! You can delay the duration or disable them entirely in the settings menu. You see that settings menu? Sweet text audio, wait. Gameplay. Cannot be enabled mid-case. Fonts, controller, time-sensitive choices. Just double duration. I'm not gonna say none, but yeah. At least double the duration for me. I get nervous. This episode contains testimony segments. Objectionable words or clauses will become red when you prepare to call on them. This additional hinting can be disabled in settings. You can adjust either of these features at any point without affecting your high roller status. To encourage risk-taking and discourage safe scumming. Consider enabling it if you want to pursue this mystery like a true game player. Give me high roller, man. I already did one with it. Welcome to the high roller tables. Enjoy the thrill. I might. If I don't need them, I'll just earn myself some extra annoyance. It's good to do it in the kite. First question's an easy one. Who's your senator? Meth things. Piece of shit still trying to lie to our faces. Mathings is our senator, man. What still? Shit. Hey, wake up. On the top, I guess. What's your name? Barbia. What year is it? 2086? What did you say last time? 2027? Maybe this stuff's finally working. Dog does know how to shake. You can go fuck. Again, in the head. One thing I said, one thing I asked. Anywhere but the head. Not my fault he's got a punchable face. So we calibrated yet or what? No. We're as close as we're going to get with equipment this old. You want to get to the real questions, or does he need more softening up? I just said, I won't soften him up in the island. How about it? You still with us, Hound? You're going to feel a migraine hit you like a tram in a few seconds. Do me a favor and hold on to the pain. Let go, and the barbitocene will drop you like an anchor. Don't want you a vegetable. Right. Yeah, that's the spirit. You're a fighter. Question 1. Do you know why you're here? Because you were too spooked to do this over a line? I'm always... I think you know who this is. I'm always the right amount of spooked, Red. Oh! It's not who I was expecting. When I tell you there's heat, I mean it. I know, and I always listen. See? Wow! Breathable layers! That is a good look for her. Hold on. Is there like a... Ooh. And hot pants too over some... Yeah. Although the top does remind me of that one top from Final Fantasy 14. He's not bad either. In like a cool bartender type kind of vibe. God damn it. You laughed. Doesn't mean I conceded to your point. You're lighter. You memorized the map? Kept it pretty vague, but yeah, I think risque indecency? I think I got the gist of it. You're that worried about a paper trail? Proactive analysts just want a state contract for new trawling algorithms that can DN an entire city blocks crumbs in less than an hour. I know about crumbs. You don't need to... Unless there's something new about crumbs. Oh. Oh, the Internet of Things, yeah. We're keeping it for a little bit. It won't be there the whole case. I earned it. Let me have this. Didn't you read the financial section today? I'm more of a Sudoku gal. We can't be all as well read as Reynard Diamani. I'm sending you the link. Read them. And the rest of the news too. Proposition 492 is going to be on the ballot this year. You shouldn't vote on it blindly. For a guy who makes the majority of his living operating outside the law, you sure take your civic duties seriously. Information brokering isn't illegal. We will choose to do with my advice. Do you declare the income for it on your taxes? Sorry. I promised not to. I promised to take a look at what you sent over. God damn. God damn. Okay. Well. The works construction headed to balance. I need some water for this. With elections coming up, a number of measures related to infrastructure, public works, and funding for the city programs will begin on the ballot soon. Read on to get an overview of some of the most hotly anticipated issues you'll be able to vote on the incoming. 436.2D, petition for city council to commission cost analysis public schooling. Which one did he say was important? 492. Oops. Let me read that one first. 492.1A, funding of Atlas Pillar Rejuvenation Projects. Sponsored by Chopin, How Industries, Wickham. Voting aye on this measure will direct City Council to fund the renovation and reinforcement of multiple Atlas pillars around the lower wards. Paid for by a % increase in sales tax within city limits. Atlas pillars act as stabilizing points of the city's canopy super infrastructure and house all the largest public transit elevators. Foot traffic to see if they come between canopy street and the measure is generally reviewed favorably represented from lower wards who acknowledge that the necessary construction will be disruptive. A point. I lost where I was reading. Point to language in the proposition the county's easing of the zoning restrictions and other is vital to reducing unemployment in target regions. Interesting. Some number of city council members representing uptown districts have always skepticism about these economic benefits, but none have argued against architectural reality canopies need for it. Interesting. Institute disclosed past experience to show that due to the nature of radicality integrated real estate property values in the lower wards can either skyrocket or even drop in the negative based on which pillars are rejuvenated. Cities where the disruption of the real estate market in the lower wards rampant outsider funded speculation. Interesting. Petition for City Council to commission cost analysis on public schooling. Sponsored by Erin Houston Myers. For the last several decades, all education has been held through private institutions, typically associated with more. Really? That's easy since of childcare and pre-university education for many families. Voice concerns of children being treated as customers first and students second. Synthetic and government subsidies and children. It seems to support environment for learning. If enough voters say aye, this petition is getting council commission a study to evaluate the cost and feasibility of introducing direct. That's good. Public schooling, reinforcing pillars, and it's kind of an intricate one, this one. Renaming Atlas pillars to honor local community figures. Sponsored by Danford Johnson and Son Wickham. Nicknamed the Pillars of the Community Project. That's good. And the headlines Prop 493, which is I think immediately after the other one. Yeah, 492. Seeks to rename the Atlas pillars around the city after local leaders and national figures replacing the current system where pillars are given alphanumerical designations based on the streets they're built atop of. The members of the city council have spoken explicitly for or against the measure, but polls generally show support amongst citizenry. Some question about the names. Atlas was originally an internal name for the super infrastructure construct, but league blueprints and construct of word of mouth. The brother moniker became rooted itself in the culture. Years since reportedly described as private as an ominous ring to it. Okay. Prop 527.3b. Commission of report on victims of acid snow. Hernandez Lang Muhammad. Acid snow incident says prominently at the forefront of the grateful documented pursuit. Snow did not in fact add acid to it. The film's eyewitness accounts of the scarring children received that early morning near the 2 decades ago. The played with this that was unseasonable snowfall support. Proposition receives enough as the ballot box. The city will commission full investigation of the victims. Critics of the proposition agree that after 20 years, few elections will still be residents of the city, so we think we found it all. Well, at this point of the city, did not many follow the wrong. Okay. As long as I don't have to show my work this time. Yeah, I'm going to be this calm. Chance like this don't come around. Well, ever. Frankly, I'm still surprised that we're willing to put up the funds it took to commission the thing. What do you think changed? Nothing ever changes in the lower wards. Is what I would say if I was feeling dramatic. Heartbreak make organized crime look like a bunch of cowards hiding under rocks. Is what I would say if I was feeling comedic. She brought out her other eyes when they mentioned heartbreak. Don't joke about heartbreak before sending a woman off into the lower wards by herself. Because you're such a delicate flower need protection. Yeah. White, AB negative, criminal defense attorney, barber washers, lamb chops, prom members. All good things. Lectures felt the violin. Interesting. Blackjack, solo, CeeLo, Mahjong, E-card. Favorite flower, the funny looking red ones. Like Horace? That's funny. Eggs fried and runny. Like Horace, haha. You're so clever and subtle. Actually, how many? It doesn't say how many chips I start with. How about you start feeling analytic and give me your real answer? Fine. In my humble opinion, the Rust made the first move. The demand for their products has gone up, and so they set to work with their syringes and cleavers and vans. Mobile chop shops hunt for product to fill the supply gap. Supply gap? You can't spit without it landing on a Vitruvian clinic. That's the biggest it's ever been. What mods are being printed to demand? I think I already know this one. Yeah, just normal body modifications. Okay. It's replacement parts, not mods at the Rust harvest. Vitruvian, Hal, and the others aren't interested in helping you fix a faulty pump. They just want to sell you a whole new model. The Rust might not always be pretty to look at, but even law-abiding citizens gladly swallow up the distaste for a discount that steep. A lot of modders are veterans, not easy prey. Correct. Hence the Rust stockpiled weapons, and in response, Blue Bloods sensing escalation. But that's just my hypothesis. I ever get pulled into an alley and wake up missing a kidney, we'll call it a formal theory. This one is new. Rust Gang. The domestic criminal organization known as the Rust is more accurately described as a loose collection of smaller gangs, sets, and racketeering operations that formed out of a necessity rather than a particular shared value. Broad powers granted by the state and law enforcement to address civil unrest during the 60s meant that small to medium-sized criminal organizations could not survive on their own, as virtually all their members would be detained indefinitely if one of the more members is suspected of racketeering, under new laws that classified gang activity as terrorism. While the Rust has evolved since its chaotic initial formation, the spirit of it lives in the highly diverse culture of the Rust's component cells or pods. Law enforcement officials disagree on whether the Rust meets criminal. So many argue that the gangs make up are completely capable of operating completely independently of one another. Some have them. As it stands, the Rust is known for the black market operation that illegally sourced mods, offering military-grade foreign-produced mods to civilians that are particularly enough for regularly assaulting and ripping mods out of their victims for resale. Historically, the Rust has been associated with the elevated levels of gang violence, earning themselves a fearsome reputation that has fortunately limited their ability to assimilate themselves to other segments of society. Oh shit, where'd that go? Oh man. Alright, well, I'll keep an eye out for it. However, in People v. Harmonique Systems, the state alleged that Harmonique had, on numerous occasions, employed the Rust as a kind of extra-legal mercenary force in pursuing aggressive market negotiations for the competitors. The case was ultimately settled out of court, but undisclosed penalty amount, but misinformation has persisted since. Despite its violent tendencies due to its being sheltered from consequences, but corporations who contract the Rust as deniable mercenaries. It's not like we're talking about a weapon of mass destruction. What makes the Blues think they can win a gang war with it? Maybe they found the right soldier to wield it. The idea lingers in the air for a moment as I gaze out the window. Windows in neon and advertisements galore float up the past us like bubbles of air as we make our descent. Down into our beautiful city's scenic lower wards. How's this bar go again? Through me the way of the city's woe, through me the way of eternal pain, through me the way among the lost. Inferno, Canto 3. Per mi si va nella città dolce, per mi si va nell'etern dolor, per mi si va la perduta diente. Perduta ente. Through me the way to the city of woe, through me the way to eternal pain, through me the... Welcome to the underworld, Dante. Sometimes hot, sometimes misty, sometimes choking with poison. Always dark. That the official forecast? More accurate than whatever's on your phone. Between the skyscrapers and generators, the turbines and the canopy, every city block's got its own climate down here. 9 circles of fresh hell. If you get the reference, say something. Don't make me feel crazy for 5 minutes just so you can feel smart for 5 seconds. The smog and the lower wards linger on your skin long after you make the climb back out. This place clings to you. unwanted, cloying attachment. There's an honesty to all human interaction down here that makes it trivial for me to navigate. And it's got a nightlife rife with opportunities for someone with my particular interests. So I couldn't get you anything else to work with. It was short notice. I know better than to bet against you by now, Red. But still, sweet of you to worry. This is a surefire thing. Spoken like a true addict. I mean it. I'm here for business, not pleasure. I don't plan on leaving anything to chance. Interesting we didn't get a profile for him. Hello? I see the thing turning, so I know it's still going. Nope. Oh, interesting. Be the cyberpunk. Avoid the populated streets. Turn away from brightly lit spots. Follow the trail of graffiti and broken cameras past food stands, steam vents, down the rabbit hole. Sounds more complicated than it actually is in practice. It's easy to end up on the wrong side of town, as long as you're trying to. Reinhardt's map narrowed the search a lot more than I expected. I'll be on my own from here on out. It's gotta be one of these 3 buildings. So let's go over what I know. I'm looking for a base of operations for a military kind of pod. For then a storefront, not as fortified as the headquarters. Location that makes customers feel safe, not trapped. Of course, if I just start knocking on doors, they'll probably find me, with weapons drawn. So if I want to be smart about this, I better use all my senses. Ooh, okay. So it's one of these 3. They had it reversed for some reason. A bit cleaner than the other buildings around here. There'll be someone spending money on upkeep. Maybe this one's just been torn down and rebuilt the least. A couple of bodies lingering around outside of it. Don't exactly have that organized criminal associate edge. Orca? Gang Orca. Criminal associate. Organized criminal associate is the more criminals. Okay. Most widely used within law enforcement for individuals who are members of criminal organizations, planning terminology used during the first half of the 21st century in accordance with changes to the organization of recruiting for an international culture within organized crime. Frequently abbreviated for some artistic liberty as orcs, or more commonly orcas. Okay, I see it. Law enforcement professionals often use related nomenclature when discussing organized criminal activity for informal settings. For example, an orca also is referred to as a killer whale, kale, or KW. A group of orcas may be called a pod, while a known gathering place may be labeled a den. But that doesn't mean anything. A lot of pods will pay civilians good money just to keep their eyes open. Certainly dark. Yeah, there's my first chips. There's a camera out front, and it's not broken. Overall, it's probably just a mechanic garage that shuts down the power to save money at night. The windows are all dark, like no one's home. They're all shut too, so it could be that they're just tinted. Alley's clear. Fire escape's still there for the most part. Could pass for an alternate exit if need be. And that door, that's sturdy enough to bat the bullet off of. Someone's been renovating. Well, this place looks like shit. It's more like a haunt than just dry enough for users to pass out than anything else. It's plenty inconspicuous, but a dealer of the level I'm looking for would be considered a made man respectable. I'd rather be willing to have a step over trash constantly and keep low profile. Okay, might as well pull the trigger. Dingy but not a shithole. Some secure features, but the paint's not too shiny. Goldilocks takes it. That's my best bet. Why? Why do I feel like I'm being watched? Um. Oh, hey, great acting. He was supposed to be the lookout. Red Hood? What'd you say? People come down here to be anonymous. The closest thing to it in modern day. It's considered poor etiquette to stare at anyone for more than a moment. It's a faux pas to make an effort to remember someone. Commenting on another's dress isn't a slap to the face, but it is odd. Go away? At least they can take direction. Whatever. Look up being around just confirms that I picked the right building. Don't try the door. That'll make him open up. I don't know, knock. Alright. Should I try knocking in a pattern? Shave and a haircut. No, that'd be silly. I have money. Actually, I have a dark card. Should have provoked a reaction. A grunt, footsteps, something. Place my hand against the door absentmindedly. Time to move to plan B. And I feel movements. Locks being checked. Maybe doorknob palmed. Anxiety and curiosity pit against one another. I don't know. Pit against one another by an onlooking greed. How do you enter a closed room? First, you try pushing. When that doesn't work, naturally you... forget it. I'll find some other. No need for master keys or any other trickery. If you know what you're doing, doors will open for you. Like magic. Door's not the only thing that's been reinforced around here. This apartment building? Hotel? Whatever it used to be, someone made a lot of effort to file it down. Hallways blocked off with chicken wire and stripped furniture. Access panels ripped out, doors welded shut. They took a maze and ground it down to a one-way street. Maybe a shooting gallery. With blaring musical accompaniments. Don't get any ideas. Got no vacancy. And here I thought I just found my dream home. Mr. Call me Trey. And too bad. We're closed this month. Sungmin Trey Trench. O positive. Freelancer. Vending machine, skate park. Ice chips. Good taste. Rich kids, fried food, cops. 3 arrests, 0 convictions on loitering. 2 on larceny, 1 conviction. No incidents on records of truancy. Punctual. Wait, you're serious? You rent these things out? Of course you do. This is a business. Right. And you, see a lot of demand? The lower woods, bitch. Oh. Lower woods, bitch. Emphasize the word without emphasis like a subconscious honorific. I'm not honored, but I can't find it in myself to be offended either. Those are stray dogs who pay top for a site to lay down and to lay low a night or two. I can see why. This is the hallway. The rooms are clean. Sure. Look, those are heavy, the locks are physical, and it's quiet. So this is a safe house for rent. Safe rooms for rent. But like I said, we're not open for business right now. Curious. Come on up the stairs already. And no mask when we get up there. And curious, sir. A good mask is like a good pair of boots in the lower wards. Keeps you clean, keeps you moving. Makes your journey a dozen times more comfortable. And if you leave the house barefoot, you can expect to bring back something unsavory attached. Not odd for him to be barefaced, but demanding that I not wear mine is Seriously, stuff it in your pocket now. You know, this sounds serious. I might as well. Won't be a problem. Good. Lose the gloves, too. So that's the game. This isn't a power move, it's insurance. If this place ever gets busted, evidence of my visit will be all over the place. And they're giving their customers extra incentive to make sure this shithole remains a hidden gem. A reasonable idea on their part, but it doesn't change my answer. That's not happening. Bitch. Whatever. Have fun explaining to the boss why you can't follow basic instructions. That does sound fun. Watch it. You're a guest here. A guest? I'm a paying customer. And if you try to get me to remove any more articles of clothing, I'll leave a scathing review. You haven't paid yet. Come on. Right behind you. Over there. Hey. How'd it get all the way over there? Damn. Dropping all kinds of shit all over me. Through here? Yeah. Hey, I'll get the door. Huh? Hey, I know these two. Fellers. Howdy. How the hell'd you find her? Must have fallen out of the canopy ripe as shit fruit. Dropped it again. Because if she didn't fall out of the damn sky, that means Trey opened the door for her. Right, Trey? Tanks, come on, she... cheery. And he got that thing on him. Uncle Tanks Tan. Handyman. 101 kilograms. Parkour spray paint stainless steel. Doesn't like beer cans. Interesting. A lot of stains, cops. 2 assaults. No charges pressed. Interesting. 3 counts of grand theft. 2 convictions. 18 months incarceration. Juvenile correctional campus. Interesting. And what a charming mugshot. How hard is it to not open a goddamn door? Well, she has... Shut up. Hold on. Yeah, and I've just been talking with him. Yeah, whatever. His name is Heavens Miller Smiles. His full name is Heavens Smiles, and they chose to do his nickname as Miller. Wow. Also, I've been reading everything in a voice. I just forgot to unmute my mic. Whatever. It's too late. Wow, this guy's light as hell. Tradesman, horror films, bubblegum terrariums. Oh, that's fun. Well, dislikes bookies, gin, and cops. 4 arrests for vandalism, 4 convictions, 2 for extortion, 0 convictions. No incidents of littering. Good dude, especially if he likes bubblegum. Man, just hold on to that shit. Good for you. Good for you, Miller. Yeah, thanks, Miller. I know. All the more reason we should tell this bitch to get slagged. Look, she's here now, so why not take her money? You know what? I got a better idea. Applied directly to the forehead. A loud one. Tanks is pressing a barrel directly into my forehead. Why not take her for all she's got? The metal feels cool on my skin. Reminds me of a stethoscope. Breathe in. I try not to sigh at the theatrics. Instead, I make eye contact with Freak. Hey now. You can put that away. He reholsters firearm without so much as a click of the tongue. Mid-tears, like I thought. They got something approaching discipline. Mind the safety. Get screwed. So we good? We good. We all good, right, Creek? Threading a thin needle, lady. A lot of moving parts beneath the surface here. Give me a minute to clear my schedule for you. Make yourself at home in the meantime. Just don't hover, yeah? Of course. You won't even notice I'm here. What is there to look at? Nope, shit, it's all loading in. I can bug Miller again. Or what's his name? Tanks. You doing inventory over here? Ouch. Must have caught you at the worst night of the quarter. Quarter? This ain't a mega operation, lady. We took our inventory daily. Derogatory slam from mega corporation. I think I remember this one, yeah. Yeah, I remember this one, yeah. Torture. You gonna suggest we put it all down in a spreadsheet? Get everyone to sign off on every hour? You got a special name for anything with more than one signature on it. A cricket case. Cricko. Showing results for combating racketeer. Influenced and corrupt criminal organization by Cricko. Combating racketeer influenced and or interrupt. Fuck. The Combating Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Criminal Organizations Act provides for increased law enforcement powers and impunity when investigating and prosecuting organized criminal charges. The CRICO Act allows for prosecutors to link multiple individual charges of racketeering, contraband smuggling, or other similar infractions into conspiracy charges against the majority of a criminal organization. Fighting organized crime. The CRICO Act is distinct in that it makes clear the distinction between criminal organizations and corporations operating in violations of the law considered necessary to adapt to changes in drug trafficking, gambling, and sex work industries. For the CRICO Act, prosecutors would at times seek to designate corporations engaging in aggressive market as criminal organizations, arguing that their structure does not significantly differ from what might be called a mafia. Most CRICO corporations, this is how anti-union. I think of those charges registered in the state effectively immune to criminal conspiracy charges that the trade prosecuted through the trade courts. Some of the liberal-leaning members of the judicial system argue that this emboldens certain aggressive corporate behaviors and complicates attempts to prosecute criminal organizations who make some amount of their profits through legally registered and operating businesses. Others point to the relatively higher penalties in the trade courts that are sufficiently deterrent for criminal activity on the behalf of either corporate or mafia partners. In criminal courts, sentence to an individual can be as severe as life in prison, but in trade courts, guilty verdicts can result in entire companies being deregistered and all of their assets being acquired by the state. Users also frequently search for how to avoid crypto charges easy 2086. Prisoner Dilemma explained. What is illegal? Is it illegal to gather with people? That one's bad in a couple different ways. He's corrupting the crypto acronym a lot, but his risk assessment is misguided. Paperwork brings down more criminal organizations than guns ever will. Give a half-decent account with one thread to pull on, and they can rip apart the mafia in less than a business day. Hey, what did Creek say? Don't hover. Only hovering if I'm bothering you. Am I bothering you? You were bothering me. You'd know it. Hey, friendly one. You good, buddy? I'm looking a little sweaty. Well, it's just because I was exercising before you showed up. Uh-huh. Bitch, you don't believe me? How'd you think we defend what's ours down here? I assumed the gun I was acquainted with just now played a role. Think we can afford to break the bank on bullets? It's easy to buy a gun. Pulling the trigger's also easy. Like kissing it goodbye. It'll rat you out first chance it gets. The version of firearms would explain the relatively low fatalities for gang-related violence. The big names can afford to buy a new gun every week, but for everyone beneath them it comes down to crowbars, knives, and clubs. And mods. Well, I'm sure you'll do very well in your fist fights. The fist fight is juvie. Sounds like recess shit. Sorry. Fisticuffs? Laugh it up. First time you hear a sound of steel arm makes cave at a skull in, you'll get exactly how we operate. Yeah, sorry. Why does it always look over there? Oops, shit. Hey, tanks. I guess we're bugging you now. I thought I was just going to highlight them. What? Nothing. Just kind of glaring at me. It's my job to glare at suspect bitches like... Tanks is just superstitious. But I wouldn't call it a superstition until it stops keeping you alive. I am not! Did I pass a black cat on my way in or something? It's your clothes. Again? Didn't know your fine establishment had a dress code. It's not a code. It's just bad goddamn luck to wear red. Bad luck to see red, man. Same thing. Nah, you got the red hood. Nah, you see the red hood. Fuck. Nah, you see the red hood, then you fear for your life. Cosplaying as her is weird, but it won't doom you. Great, it'll only doom us. I don't think I've heard this particular ghost story, boys. Really? You were blending in so well. The Red Rider Hood? Oh, sorry. The Red Rider Hood? Shinigami? Grim Reaper of the lower wards? Spot her on a misty night, end up dead by morning light. Come on, Creek, don't start the shit when you don't even believe it. Don't have to believe it if to have heard the rhyme. You've never heard of the Red Rider Hood? Little girl in the fog with big red raincoat? Misted the crossfire of shootout between pigs and robbers, wanders the woods seeking revenge. I think I understand it. Yep. The blaze spray. Yep. A gun that size could mist a crowd of, even if you weren't aiming. Bringing back a lot of the ones from the very first one, like the prologue one. No, never. Thought even Uptowners knew this stuff. You gonna tell me you never heard the cyberpunk or the Little Lord next? Guess I don't have a good ear for this thing. Or maybe you're just not as smart as you think you are. Says the grown man sweating because of Ghost Story. How about you take extra care not to walk under any ladders for the rest of the night and we'll call it even. Walk under any... Where did you even find a... Oh. Did you mean stepladder? Now who's afraid? You look pale as shit. For some reason, it's the horrible feeling that I lost a bet. That's funny. All right. How's the poker game going, boys? What's your poison? 5 card, full blind, Monaco rules? Are those games? We just screw around with whatever we got to kill time, lady. You know your stuff. You ever play around here? Now and then. Hell, you a slumming for card games? Now and then. Have I seen you at a game before? Maybe up by the 30s. Sorry, must have been some other redhead. Damn. Thought I'd finally gotten my second chance at getting that beauty's contacts. You practiced that one a lot? Practiced it a little. How's it working? Keep practicing. That was fun. George nearly as sturdy as the one up front, but a lot more slapped together. Is that a bat? What was that originally? That a walk-in freezer or something? But no, we had an agreement about hovering, yeah? Yeah. It's far from this side. Which means whatever, they don't want anything getting out. Alright, come here. Pull up a chair. Let me ask you something before we get started. What was your first job? Waitress? Waitress. You remember this feeling? 9 p.m. Diners filter out. Doors close at 10. Y'all start turning off the grills, taking out the trash, settling down. And then some mouth breather comes in at... Literally, this happened. Comes in at 9:40 with big blank eyes expecting you to find him a table. Yeah. Yeah, asshole behavior. Not breaking any rules. Can't arrest him. Can't shoot the guy. Even if you wanted to. So, related note. You're here to buy. A paying customer? Happy to have you. Just read the room, okay? Sure. And no haggling. Now, what are you here for? Well, can't be honest about that. Time to build a story. This creek seems less high-strung than the others. Must have a few years and a couple promotions under his belt. Might be on the 3rd floor at the moment, but in spirit he's still on the street, earning. Everyone above him is in a more managerial positions. He's in between crowds, isolated. They seemed entertained by my poke at the big guy. Putting all that together, I'm not actually here for myself. Truth is, I can't hear anything over the damn screen. I grab the remote setting at the edge of the desk and turn off the screen. That's better. The hell you do that for? It was too loud. We like it loud. Screws with bugs and wires and cops. You a cop? Keeping it at that volume could damage your ears. You'd end up yelling all the time. Relax, Tanks. Cut her some slack. She smoked enough to do your shitty role, too. I was gonna say fall over, but you seem... sober? Me? Got chrome lungs or something? Just always had a very high tolerance for that kind of thrill. You could do a bunch of drugs and not even enjoy it. Shit, you must have been popular in school. Not exactly. But clearly I'm not invincible. I'd never talk about myself if I wasn't at least a little stoned. My bad. We usually pride ourselves on not giving a shit of who our customers are. Thanks for making me the exception. Now, like I was saying, I'm actually here for someone else. My boss, to tell the truth. That sucks. Does your regional manager want a made-to-order heart attack for his retirement party or something? Not that far off. His son's turning 18 and he wants a party. An organic party. How's that supposed to mean? Hell if I know. But a coworker lets slip that I smoked a few times in college. So boss goes and hands me his dark card, slaps me on the rear, and sends me down here. Told me to get everything his sons need for the best graduation ever. That's rough. Pretty lady like yourself shouldn't get stuck running errands at this hour. Not in this part of the city. It's not safe. Speaking of which, Miller. Stand up. Raise your hands. I oblige, but the lanky one keeps staring at me oddly, looking me up and down. It's not complimentary. He's searching for something. See, normally, I would never be this poor. The host is such a nice customer, but... Bosses, right? Yeah. Might have been real micromanaging lately. Kinda becoming a problem. So, we're taking a little more care around new faces. Tucked inside a jacket, round left pocket. His eyes aren't modded. Did I give it away with my body language? Something you want to share with the class? Forget I had that, maybe? Yes, I have a knife on me. Should I have declared that on my papers? Would have been the polite thing to do, yeah. Sorry for the poor manners. But a pretty lady like me, this part of town. Guess I was just being careful around new faces. Hi. You letting her keep it? I got you here to protect us. Have to wonder, though. What a high-powered corporate mover shaker come in person. Why come to us? Why not go across the sky and walk over to the nearest Icaria-owned dispensary? Caged tonight, aren't we, boys? How is this suspicious for? And who are the Icaria? The name sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah, it does sound familiar. But, well, I can read between the lines. They have competition. So if these blue bloods are being cautious around paying a customer, I can shame them over it. Yeah, I know Cyberpunk. An international criminal organization known for extorting corporations through shipping. Interesting. The international criminal organization, most commonly known as the Blue Bloods, originated in the early 21st century as an offshoot of Eastern Hemisphere triads that subsumed various dockworkers' unions. Loosening international corporate regulations and decreasing job opportunities at the time made it difficult for digital units to gather and maintain bargaining power. Simultaneously, many triads struggled with increasing nationalism around the globe, combined with the improvements in border security made with profit margins for smuggling smaller and smaller, even as demand for foreign goods went increasingly unmet. Historians and criminologists debate the exact origin of the Blue Bloods, and even among ex-members remains debate about which side approached which or when the Blue Bloods became a distinct identity. What is agreed upon is that by the mid-21st century, the Blue Bloods were a significant presence in every major trade port around the world, smuggling goods across the borders and extorting multinational corp were threatening to withhold or destroy merchandise as they entered the country. Domestically, the Blue Bloods seem to have given serious consideration towards legitimizing their activities for a time, acquiring legal charters for business for many of their shipping and security operations during the 2050s. This same time period also saw a cooling of hostility between the Blue Bloods and many of their rivals, of the gang-related violence dropping precipitously. Civil disruptions had suspected charges and leadership changes. The 60s, however, is this trend. The Blue Bloods remained a major player in the global market trafficking. Just a criminal concern of moderately, officially downgraded to moderate by the state during the 2070s. Most criminologists agree that their national presence is now relatively weak and has remained so for as long as the organization's broader global leadership is likely uninterested in exploring the resources it would take to change the status quo. Interesting. I mean, sure, everyone knows that Icaria have taken the lion's share of the city. Just didn't realize they had monopoly, too. Hey, get it straight. The Icaria won't be on top anymore once he... Never mind. Can we not do business? No one said that. So, what'll it be? Well, I don't want any of these kids choking on their own foam. Even if it'd be funny to watch. I figured I'd just buy a bunch of downers, maybe a handful of uppers. Let half of them get high off the atmosphere. Downers, huh? We got a new titration of lime, less for uppers. Yeah, they can stir into their watered-down beers. Wait, new titration? No one's gonna shit themselves, are they? No. Not until the morning, at least. I can live with that. What do you got on the other end? Not plenty, as long as they don't mind hippos. Hypodermics. Like these baby shark types who get nervous around needles. Got anything they can inhale? Well, got a lot of nerve. Fast bump, high plateau, and a smooth ride down. My bestseller. Sounds great. Unfortunately, it's in high demand, so... Metahexafentanil. No. Fentanyl. Okay. Once more with feeling now. hexfenil, whatever, was an illegal stimulant sold in the black market as a recreational drug under the street name Nirvana, sometimes shortened to Nerve. When taken as an inhalant, euphoric with mild hallucinogenic properties. In recent months, its growing popularity has led many to suspect that a drug has been assessed for legalization by the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight. This process of considering a drug for legalization is kept strictly confidential in order to prevent rampant speculation on the pharmaceutical market. However, increases in the sales of precursor chemicals for making metahexafenolol seems to indicate that producers are anticipating its legalization nonetheless. The relative obscurity of said precursor chemicals have made the uptick particularly noticeable, and supply has not been able to keep this elevated demand. Possession, production of, use, or trafficking of metahexafenolol is a crime, even when the drug is legalized. Precious violations of narcotics laws are not granted amnesty. I just got a flash of memory to this new movie that's going to come out called Pizza Movie, where a bunch of college kids take some drugs that can only be taken with pizza. Otherwise, they're going to fucking die or some shit. I don't know. And the whole thing, it's not important. I get it. He's selling me drugs, but does he really have to sell me drugs? Hey, it's not my card anyway. Charge it. Gladly. Typing away at his tablet like this, he almost looks white collar. It checks out, right? The series legit, so... Yeah, man. You already said that. It's encrypted, Trey. It's not meant to be a one-tap purchase. Dark card. Gold standard of untraceable funds transfer. Among the criminal and financial elite. Your average citizen wouldn't recognize it as anything special. Looks like any other credit or debit card. Only reason I recognize it is because they got flashed all the time back at my apprenticeship. Mostly for, drawing lines. And sometimes for purchasing. Hard to convert the funds back into cash, but if you want to buy it or sell it on the black market, you couldn't ask for better. So what the hell's going on? I'm dangling some very enticing bait here. An amenable Mark spending money that's not her own. She's been salivating over me. Instead, they're practically x-raying me. Why? Interesting decor. Finally, someone notices. It's nice, right? It's called cherry wood. I redid the paint myself with a finish I had imported. So it's a nice piece of furniture, Greek. But I was referring to your paperweights. Oh, yeah, that. You like it? Yeah. I'm a Mark. Marks don't. Marks are the easily impressed. It has a certain rustic simplicity, though it's not exactly gleaming. Have you considered giving it a polish? That'd be a crime. Oh? Polishing off the battle scars from a hard-won prize. Prize? It's not yours? Something I picked up on the job. Yeah, that's what it is. Masculine voice, muffled, possibly gagged, and stifled as if pained. Seems like I'm not the only guest tonight. Really wish you'd left the music on, lady. Huh? Did you say something? I was spacing just now. Didn't hear a word you said. Okay, that's okay. I didn't say nothing. Guess you aren't so stupid you can't even mind your own business. Speaking of mind my business, how are we looking? Card still processing. Sorry about that. Guess it takes time to snake a wire enough to track pin. Guess it takes time to snake a wire through enough pinholes that even the almighty state can't track it. Takes power apparently too. Battery's plummeting. Dark word. Almost more trouble than it's worth. Definitely didn't do its previous owner any good. Before I palmed it off his corpse. Your boss must be a careful guy. Delegating you to come down here with this. Yeah, maybe. Not very smart, though. He had no idea what any of this shit costs. If I treat myself after I finish here, it's not like he'd ever know the difference. Good on you. Ripping off the bastard. Woman after my own heart. There it is. Now I just need 2 thumbs and a password for verification and we're golden. Their problem? Yeah. Is there a problem? No, no problem. Sorry, it's just something I heard. And what was that? But the Bluebuds have gotten something special in recently. Can't trust everything you hear out there. Or read. Or see. No, of course not. But is it true? A no mask? Like the man said, you gotta be careful what stories you listen to. Come on, what could it even cost? A couple thousand? I wouldn't know. I'm no art appraiser. But I do know that it's rare. Fun fact, no means talent. But I don't think that translation does it justice. Less than a dozen people on the planet who can make them. What's so special about it? I mean, them, if they exist, which they don't. If you want a mask, you've already got one on your chin, lady. State puts up cameras, we put on masks. State has layered scans, we wear helmets. High tech climbs higher, low tech punches lower. Back and forth, scissors sharp enough to cut a rock. Anti-facial recognition, fractalized active defense. Any camera scanner or ad that looks at a mask, they'll see a face. Within a face, within a face, within a face, until fatal error. Forget hiding from cameras, searching for blind spots. With a no mask, you could easily walk down the busiest street in the city and brick every camera in half a kilometer. I know about ads. Classical Japanese mask dance drama. No, translated literally as ability, it's a world-renowned form of Japanese dance theater, with traditions and codified performances dating back to the 14th century, strictly regulated by the Iamoto system, in which a single heir inherits all authority, mastery, and secret techniques of their predecessor. No's strict adherence to tradition and seniority have made it difficult for the practice to spread and flourish during the 21st century. Performers wear archetypical costumes and masks and must convey emotion through precise movement. Their masks are masterfully crafted, such that a single static mask can convey sorrow, fury, joy, or terror by merely angling the head differently. Cool. You know your stuff. Buyer beware. But if this mask could do half of what you think it could, anyone who got their hands on it wouldn't part with it easy. So how much? More than you could afford, that's for sure. I don't know about that. I got a pretty nice stock options. Maybe you do have the money. That's not the issue. I can't sell it. It's already been spoken for. End of discussion. Well, for sure. Well, sure, you can't sell something that's been spoken for. But things get misplaced all the time. Delivery carriers showing up at the wrong addresses, missing packages ending up at the backs of storage facilities, merchandise falling off the back of the proverbial truck. You weren't sent here on some errand. Shit! What? What is it? Take a long look, boys, because you may never get another chance. We're breathing the same air as a genuine consultant. She's some kind of mega meg spy? If I was, I wouldn't exactly come out and say it, now could I? Oh shit. Is it really this easy? Yeah, that's real smart talk. Yeah, give me one reason I shouldn't paint your brains onto the wall. Because I still haven't paid for my purchase? Definitely got the nerves of a consultant. They teach you that in some fancy uptown corpo school? Or is it something you were born with? Something I was born with. Probably. But believe it or not, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Honesty always speeds up the negotiation. So in the spirit of cooperation, why don't you start being honest too? How's that? You don't want my money, traceable or otherwise. The only reason you didn't entertain a customer while in the middle of whatever bottleneck you're keeping behind that door is because I have something rare that you desperately need. Don't assume desperation or need. How about want? You want the dark card account itself, not whatever shitcoin currency it holds. And why is that? To steal from your bosses. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. They're the ones stealing from us. Yeah, I'm sure you have very legitimate grounds for a wage theft suit, but I don't care. Whether it's for running away, skimming off the top, or just insurance. You want a wallet they don't have eyes on. Since your tall friend hasn't misted me yet, it seems like you're willing to barter for it. So, card for the mask. Not even close. The card plus 2/4 worth of my salary. That's nearly... Nah, sister, you don't have the cash for this purchase. And it ain't the kind of thing you can get a loan from the bank for. I don't like it, but... Not cash, then. Might as well try it. What about information instead? I'm not gonna say it's impossible. It'd have to be one hell of a piece of intel. I could give you heartbreak. What'd you say? Funny. That is funny. Heartbreak's the most famous anarcho terrorist in the country. It's some Meg's beck and call. Upgraded to anarcho terrorist now. Ugh. Lots of people were laughing really hard, having shortened the red stocks before each of his kills. Hold up. Seriously? Oh, why do people buy this conspiracy shit so easy? I don't get the joke. Why would we want heartbreak? To learn from him? Make an example of him? Hire him? You blue bloods have been fighting the Rust, the Ikaria, the state, and everyone who wants a peace for decades. Yet heartbreak's gotten more notoriety than all of you combined in only a few months. There's really nothing you'd want to say to him? Nothing you'd want to ask him? If he was sitting right in front of you? The following scene contains... loud noises. Flashes of light. Depictions of violence and gore. Hell of a bluff, I'll give you that. Thought it was worth a try. Sorry, just procrastinating having to go back to my superiors empty-handed. Nah, it was good. Good effort. I mean, I'm still interested in the dark card, it's just... the mask is a death sentence, crafted specifically for one very special customer. I'm just the one given the honor of hanging on to it until... well, sounds like you got your own office politics to worry about. Getting pulled in every direction. I know the feeling. Well, that was a bunch of drama for nothing. Did you get a buyout or what, Creek? Oh, I'm still buying. Not for some kid's party, obviously. Plan is, we're gonna spike the competition at this meet and greet, make the customer think they're drooling idiots. The mask was always a long shot. It's just personally curious. Curiosity can get you into trouble. Down here at the bottom of the world. Don't worry. I like to think I know a thing or two about discretion. I can see that. Why don't we wrap this up then? Your password and your thumbs, please. Sure. I'll just take off my gloves here. Oh, yeah. I make a snap with my right hand as my left extends towards the desk. Viewer discretion advised! Real quick before I forget. Do you have a bag for all this? Yeah, actually. Got a few in the... The hell? Only need to distract him for a second. Oh shit. Are we gonna see her in action? Less than one heartbeat. Oh. I did tell him to mind the safety. Ah. Big One made a small noise as he looked down to see that his own gut had blown a fist-sized chunk out of his torso. Holy shit. He jumped up fast. I was expecting to blow his head off. From behind a motion, a shape charging towards me. Spinning left, I draw my knife, exhale, and lower my shoulders. There. A loudly broadcast haymaker swinging in from his right. Bad instinct. Must have gotten used to those sparklers making people flinch. I step in, and his bicep smacks dully into my shoulder as I place my knife directly into his carotid. He's gripping that knife with all the strength he has left. Wait, is he really going to try and pull it out? Someone's been stabbed. What to do when applying for stage picture would remind the front is not recommended and can greatly increase the rate of blood loss. And let's not worry about the rest. Another bad instinct. Oxygen cut off the brain, already losing vision. And dropped, with all the grace of a garbage bag hitting the bottom of the dumpster. So that just leaves. As it moved a muscle, newest member, weakest in the pack. Personally, I wouldn't have given the new guy guard duty, but hindsight's 20/20. Gun's double-barreled, 2 shots spent. And Miller still has my knife in a literal death grip. I have to improvise for this last one. Well, there was a baseball bat there. Or the katana. What the hell? Why not? Oh shit! I've come to think of it. But how do you use this thing? Aim for the bleachers, I guess. Oh fuck! Episode 2. His due. I got 3 centimeters into his neck. Was a bit of vertebra and stopped dead. Still, I got the job done after a few whacks, but... Well, it was my first time with a sword. But I've never been very good at anything the first time. Always needed lots of practice. Okay, music should have deadened the sound of the gunfire. And that gun was heavily modified. If it somehow still has its tags, it can't possibly be functioning properly. So I got a window of opportunity. First things first, gloves back on. Shit. Wow, someone's lively. Who the hell? Some kind of mod keeping him alive? Cruelty under his circumstances. I can hear that slug tear his intestines apart. Pain alone should have knocked him out cold, yet his fingers are limp, eyes sharp. Paralyzed. There are rules, I thought. Blood pooling fast. You've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes for what? Everything. You're no mega sis. You're too talkative. Who sent you? Fox. Grey Lady. All that red should have. You're the Rust's newest. Seven dog. Caribou. It's cute how you give each other nicknames. You're civilian? Where's the mask? Bloody hell! You just looked right at the desk drawer. You just looked right at the desk drawer. I thought you said you played poker. Need your keys. A civilian. Thief. Theft is victimless. It's robbery when violence is involved. So you're just out of your goddamn mind. I'm the last person you'll ever talk to, Creek. Your choice, but do you really want to be rude? You seem like you can take it. Key clicks into the smallest safe and I pull open the door to reveal paperwork. Page after page of spreadsheets and diagrams and text. I'll print it in red. Is this important? So considerate. Nah, just throw it anywhere. Okay. I was joking! 3 minutes now. Sarcasm will cost you time you don't have. There it is. In gleaming darkness at the back of the safe. So that's it, you. All of this. All of us. For that. Just for that? I get asked that question a lot. I wouldn't mind it if this is the new splash screen for the title. Would you feel better if I had killed you for a different reason? If I had a good reason for blowing a hole in your stomach? Would it have hurt any less? You still got more than 2 minutes. Plenty of time. I could spin up whatever fairy tale you'd like to put you to bed. I bring the mask to my face, and for a moment, the surface seems to writhe. Is it trying to adjust itself to me? Suppose it makes sense, you wanting a mask so bad. If I was as hideous as you on the inside, I wouldn't want to go barefaced either. Hit a nerve. Must be the worst kind of feeling. Being seen. Seen by someone you can't even hurt anymore. While I see you. Heartbreak. Yeah. Big, bad, faceless heartbreak. I'm just a dumbass punk. Oops, shit. Don't flatter yourself. It's not that you're particularly perceptive. I just don't have anything to hide when a corpse is talking. First honest thing you've said. So what gives, HBK? Really not an idealist. All the terrorism, rebellion theories out the window. You go around killing because your daddy smack you around? Your mommy not hug you enough? My father never laid a hand on me. My mother hugged me. A sufficient amount? So what the hell's your excuse? I don't make excuses. What the hell is wrong with you? Less than a minute now. I could spend that time making up a diagnosis if you'd like. Or would you just prefer I come over there and squeeze? Oh, how many? Another question straight out of the greatest hits. How can I put this? How many breads have you eaten in your life? Never. What a gluten thing. Bitch. Whatever. Point is, I'm not a collector. This is not my hobby. I do not keep count. There is no code. I do what I want as often as I want to. Do what thou wilt. Follow the law. Is that it? I don't know what you're referencing. From where you're sitting, do I really look like the law-abiding type? I bring the mask down back on my face, and again its surface seems to shudder. Get it. At least I know. You deserve what's coming. I've heard a lot of empty threats on people's last moments creak. They're never that memorable. Told you that mask was a death sentence. That it was spoken for. They called in a huntsman from overseas. Home turf. Huntsman can become anyone. Go anywhere. Kill anything. Supposed to come over and slaughter the rest. That mask was part of his payment. He'll be looking for it. Possession's 9/10 of the law. What's that supposed to mean? Finders keepers. Get it. I don't need to scare you. Huntsman. Hunter. Too much meaning. Lost. Always thought that if translation was Health Taker. He'll find you, flay you alive, wear your skin, then go and murder everyone you. What a face. Should have taken you up on dipping out earthly. Anything Pete dying, staring at a face like that. So, big bad huntsman coming to get me. Nah, dead and dying don't make for strong bluffers. And I've seen more than a few of them try their hand at improv. And move. Need to scuff things up a bit more. Make this look more like an orca shootout than, well, a visit from me. Yeah, that's kind of important. Weapons are inherently disposable. I can kill with anything. So I never bother to retrieve one from a dead man's grip. But I'm gonna have to need that knife again. Shortly. So I'll be taking this back, Miller. I had to pry. Why is it the dead are always grasping? Quick save progress phone. I like they don't even look like people anymore, cover tracks. They're just like glowing things. Sword was not worth the effort. Lesson learned. And now I have to remove it for its next part. His eyes. Can't tell the model from the outside, but I can make a strong, educated guess at the price range. If they back up any data, it can't be more often than once an hour. It'll be 10 o'clock soon. I need something with some heft to it. Skull. See no evil. Well, the bat's definitely spent, but his eyes are no longer a problem. And the sword. It's fine where it is. Not gonna tempt fate and risk nicking myself with it. That's all the burning issues addressed. Time to take care of the chores. I had to remove my gloves to convince them I could use a dark card. That means I handled all the murder weapons with my bare hands. Obviously, I need to wipe my prints off with the gun and my knife. Off this gun and my knife. But I put my gloves on before opening Creek's safe and cracking Trey's skull. So what does that leave? Do I remember everything Morgan handled? Can I save? Better try. The police don't miss fingerprints. If you're sure you've got everything, you're good to move on. Right? Focus. No mistakes. The remote? Somebody used to distract the big guy. I guess I should turn the music back off. But should I turn the music back off? No. It's playing when I first walked in. That's to preserve continuity. But besides, what was it he said? You like it loud, screws with bugs? He's right about that much. Little smoke screen never hurts. What else? Yes, the keys. Right, the keys I took off him to open the safe. Is that a maid? Blueblood's gonna find out that took the mask eventually. But I see no reason to give them any hints. And on the off chance that Blue's get here first, I'd rather they not investigate this as a robbery. All that to say, you can have these back, Creek. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. Whoop. The cigarette. A pre-roll. But gloves are wrong for that. Cigarette. It was in her mouth, though. That's going to remove with the swipe of the sleeve, but saliva's... I had to take it with me and dispose of it somewhere far away. Or smoke it down to nothing if I'm feeling masochistic. Tasted like microwave sand sprinkled with aluminum and artificial sweetener. Cigarettes do scatter particulates. If forensic finds them and can't match them to a source, well, so what? All they'll know is that there was a horrible spliff at here at one point. I know it would be pretty fun to see this thing drawn up as a quadruple homicide drug robbery with a payload of exactly one shitty blunt. Alright, what else? What? The card. How'd you put that back? The dark card played its role in its bait perfectly, even if the reason I'm having to go around wiping off prints. Maybe we'll be able to pull funds off of it, but I may be able to use it again if it's stuck. Creek must have dropped it harder than I realized. Getting shot in the stomach doesn't help with handling delicate electronics. I'm gonna risk taking the whole reader with me. I have any number of pings and strings leading back to the manufacturer, even the blue bloods themselves. I'll just wipe the dark card off and set the whole reader back on the desk. For all anyone knows, Creek's pod mugged it off some slumber they were trying in vain to get beer money off of. Anything else? Let's see. I don't think so. Oh yeah, the sword. I thought we already did the sword, though. I gripped the handle with both hands when I brought it down on his neck. Thinking back, I dragged the tip across the floor, didn't I? Yeah, it was a good scene. Shit, probably got Miller's blood on it. That's sloppy. It's stupid. Why the hell did I... No, forget it. Nothing you can do about it anyway. Fingerprints can be wiped, but there's no cleaning agent on the earth that can hide blood from a modern forensics team. And I'm not looking for an encore performance of my reaction with those goddamn fickle bobbies. Other than that, I think we're good. Didn't really touch anything else. Just in case. Control? Auto find? Nothing? Then I think we're good. Just in case. Save game. Also haven't saved in, like, at all since we started, so. Should I do something about this guy? Nothing to do, I guess. Hopefully he gets implicated for all this. That'd be nice. We do love it when there's someone else they can turn the blame to. Especially since he is probably being tortured or something. So nothing about the bat? She put her gloves back on, so I guess so. And they actually spent all night on this. Am I good here? I'm pretty sure we're good here. Yeah, okay, this feels like the scene's been set. Hey, an extra 10 chips. Let's go. It's a strange sensation, erasing your own presence. A sense of supremely private accomplishment. Like placing the last piece into a milk-white jigsaw puzzle. And then throwing it in the trash. Not unpleasant, but I can't linger here any longer to savor it. Time to draw this to a close. Come on, Morgan, we can get him implicated. Thank God for the mask. I can still tell it smells god-awful in here, but it's bearable. Rehydrated sweat and vomit, sense full of adrenaline and sickly heat. Unfiltered. I'd be at risk of getting sick if it weren't for all the blood. Right. Damn. What to do with you? Blindfolded, gags, hand bound above him with plastic ties, linen wrappings, beaten bloody, and drugged. These syringes. They wanted him to stay conscious. Not very popular, are you? Still, you're not dead. And with these kinds of injuries, you won't die soon. Not without a push. Might be the most charitable thing to do under these circumstances. Must have wished for death at least once during all this torture. Too bad. The bat that barred this door is now in splinters. Anyone walking in after me won't realize that this room was once locked from the outside. This captive had somehow gotten his hands on a blade. There'd be nothing stopping him from stepping out of here and butchering his captors. There we go, Morgan. There we go. The Bloods will want someone to blame for the deaths of 4 of their men. And unlike the police, they won't bother arresting an innocent man and putting him up on trial for the world to see. I'll wrap things up for me. Ooh. Hold that for me. As for the gun... What's with it? All I did was tuck the gun into your waistband, pal. Oh. Yeah, okay, I can see how this be distressing under circumstances. Well, you can relax about that. It's not loaded. A few minutes from now, you're gonna wish it was. Oh. Out again already. Rest up while you can. When you wake up, you'll want to start running. How did he get the knife into his hands? Did we literally just put it in his hands? Well, I'd say that's a clean break. Now to return home to our daughter. Like I practiced. Irashai. Bar Kintsugi? Did she get a job? I'm sorry? Keep working on it, kid. Bar Kintsugi. Didn't mean to interrupt you in the middle of training your new employee. She did get a job. Good for her. How's it working out? It is she, right? Never worked this close than I had before. She is unbearably forgiving, so I doubt you'll get sued. She's fine. Good at cleaning, precise with her mixing. Knows a hell of a lot of trivia. Popular with the younger crowd, I think. This that place with the android bartender? They talk like I installed a new karaoke machine. I didn't know you had a younger crowd. Funny. Would that make you, Grandma? You know, I just got finished with some business. More of a learning curve to her than I was expecting. Cheap out on her base installs? It's like I have to teach her everything. Trust me, there's nothing cheap about Sera. What does it say this time? Yay! Paralegal apprentice at Kitsugi. Aw, good for her. Like split field diopter, Wing Chun, and folding clothes. It's like mops, fire alarms, variety packs. I can do a full split, but it's not that useless. As you think, so shall you become. I tried to use Adonai's makeup and broke a lipstick. Aww. She doesn't have her giant jacket anymore. But yeah, she can take a minute while learning the ropes. Grin and bear it a little while longer. Once she does get her footing, she'll have you worried about your job security in no time. Keep it up. I didn't have to do you the favor of hiring, you know. Favor? Plenty of people out here would kill to work at an up-and-coming bespoke establishment like Bar Kintsugi. I think I hear them pounding at the door now. Technically, legally, you didn't hire anyone. I generously agreed to loan you my android during the hours within I have no use for it. These kinds of arrangements aren't uncommon, and androids can, in theory, work 24 hours a day indefinitely. Their users can't. Parents come home from work, people go to sleep, staff take holidays, offices close for the night. The end result is that all that slack is a lot of androids spending a good portion of their operating time waiting around. So the more enterprising owners loan them out during that downtime, ideally to businesses with complementary working hours. There are plenty of apps and HR software to help arrange it all. But Sera's apprenticeship wasn't on the books. After the fallout around David's death settled down, I came to realize exactly how shortchanged I was at our paralegal department. She's handy for research and rote work, of course, but she rarely sleeps, rarely eats, finishes paperwork at lightning speed. I was spending more time finding shit to keep her busy than I was actually working. And of course, I value my alone time. It was on one of those long walks of mine that I recalled Rainier was having trouble getting his bar up and running. Takes a village to keep the world's most advanced android busy. Yeah, loan, whatever. Sarah's the only one who clocks in and clocks out, does the work, cleans the bathrooms. She's the employee. If she was an employee, you'd have to cover her benefits. Not in my current income bracket. I checked 3 times. Wait, you're not taking her paycheck, are you? It's not a paycheck. Don't lawyer me on this shit. Sera can't earn a paycheck. She's not a person. She walks like a person and talks like a person and works like a person. The Supreme Court disagrees. By 13-0. Yeah, well. Supreme Court's been wrong about that kind of thing before, haven't they? Do I hear a touche? I was wondering when we get his profile. I was almost afraid that she was about to kill him for the previous scene. And he wouldn't last long enough to get one. Little did I know, it was the other way around. Rainier, boss, Diamani. A+ blood type, owner and operator of Kintsugi. Likes libraries, boating, fast learners, marketing, solicitors. Oh, man. Brother, let me tell you. There may be a reason Kintsugi isn't super popular yet, and unfortunately, it may be the marketing. Solicitors, signing things. Ooh, ancient coins. I bet that take too long to load. Yeah. Speed at which Kintsugi's. Sera, tell boss here what you spent your salary on. I have started purchasing cases of wine. What? What? Wait, that's what those deliveries were? As the wine depreciates, its resale value will increase. Especially if I can predict which vintages will be in high demand. Since I don't have a bank account, I can't earn interest on the traditional sense, but if I stay up to date on the sommelier reviews... So you'll resell the wine at profit, and what do you do with that money? Stop it. You're making her depressed. I did also purchase a cachet of sheet music. What? What for? Practice? You're muttering. I guess it's none of my business. Whatever. Don't worry about it. Speaking of business, this place isn't exactly packed. Will you volunteer to help with that? There are lawyer bars, right? Right? Where all the lawyers go after trials? Kitsugi could be a lawyer bar. Yeah, those lawyer bars are usually close to the courthouse, though. Don't. Just don't. Everything's signed and paid. I can't think about what ifs on location anymore. This is the spot that was available, and I needed soda water with all the stress in my stomach. Sera, 10 bar. Ahem. What are you buying, stranger? What was that? Boss has been teaching me his barside manner. He says that his clientele expect a certain degree of maturity when they come here. So you're using a deeper voice? Is it not working? Please let me know when you're ready to order. This is great. This is actually really great. All around. We'll go a little bit longer. Although this would be a good time to stop. Peruse the bar. Inspect, I guess, the doorway? Karaoke! Man, this is a nice place. If I was one for drinking, this would be a good place for it. Brian must have searched for months to find affordable underground real estate that wasn't flooded. Already filled to the brim with server farms. Even that far into the future. Putting Sera on cleaning duty was a good call. If any of the tiling here starts to grime up, it could start to feel like a subway station bathroom real fast. It's a well-stocked bar. Tea and coffee, too. That's what you're into. Nice ambiance, soft lighting, warm on a chill night, and cool on a hot day. Now all that's left to do is wait for the customers to stream in. Any day now. Let's see, is there anything else? I heard something. Oh, they got one of the little cats. It's a lucky cat. Yeah. Did you say something, Adonai? No. I suddenly get the strong impression that there was something you wanted to say. I don't know what you're talking about. As you say. Oh. Hey, alright. Someone leave this behind after a lunch break? Could be in trouble if they left anything work-related on here. I'll help them out by throwing it in the trash. After I'm done reading. Sirius debuts new fuel named lawsuit. Last month, Dr. Sirius made waves for the scientific community for the dozenth time in their storied career when they announced that they had patented the process for distilling a new helium-based fuel, one intended to replace hydrogen in combustion engines ranging from personal vehicles to full-size freighters. Only a few days later, they made headlines again when the patent was leaked on the global net. Wow, Jesus Christ. Now, Proteca, an investment firm and longtime financial backer of Dr. Sirius, has filed a lawsuit alleging that not only did Dr. Sirius fail in their responsibility to protect their investment, but actually allowed the leak to occur. We sat down with Dr. Sirius to ask them to respond to the suit's allegations to the question about them and their recurring legal woes. For those who may not be familiar, what makes your process for distilling helium fuel so valuable? In this world, if you're not plugged into an outlet, you're running on a battery or you're burning fuel. Batteries are useful, but they scale poorly, and a battery-powered phone is light enough to be weightless in your pocket. A battery-powered plane couldn't generate enough lift to get off the ground. Now, aside from the number of closely guarded national reserves, there are no fossil fuels left. The wells were pumped dry years ago, so after we were forced to adapt in a rather abrupt period of growing pains, hydrogen has become the global standard for fueling long-distance machinery, and therein lies the problem. The plane it took to get here runs on hydrogen. It produces nothing but water vapor. What's the problem? The problem is the laborers fueling your plane before it took off had their fingers crossed the entire time, afraid that if the absolute ground field failed, one static spark could blow the whole airport. So what makes helium superior? The helium-2 fuel we've developed is not pure helium, to be clear, but near enough. Unlike hydrogen fuels, what we've created is non-combustible. You could fire a flamethrower over a tank of it and remain perfectly safe. How does a non-combustible fuel power combustion engines? He2 is non-combustible, but in the presence of other specialized catalyst, it can be ignited to generate force comparable to, or in some tests, superior to, the horsepower exhibited by hydrogen engines. So what's the catch? So far, it's expensive to distill, and the catalyst materials are even more expensive to produce. We have yet to even simulate the profitable commercial flight, for instance. That's a pretty serious catch. Steel wasn't profitable before the Bessemer process. Things panned out for the steel tycoons just fine. Are you hoping for someone else to do that? Improve upon your process? I know where you're going with this. The answer is yes, of course. I'd be overjoyed if someone were to improve upon what I've built. That's essentially what Proteca has accused you of doing, isn't it? Leaking your data intentionally so that others around the world are free to start experimenting with it? I don't think it's legally wise of me to try and surmise Proteca's lawsuit against me in my laboratory. Listen. Energy is limitless. It cannot be expended. By their virtue, there cannot be a scarcity of it. You will never have a monopoly of it, and since it is infinite, the correct market price for it will, over a long enough time scale, trend to zero. I don't think I'm being cynical when I say that there are people who don't like that very basic math. I'm going to stop you there because you're getting into our next topic, your politics. Do you consider yourself to be a political person? No. Are you or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? No. Do you believe science should be apolitical? Yes. So why is it that you are so frequently involved in the example of the liberal bias in sciences? Science is not political. Science is progress, moving forward, learning more about our universe, deepening our understanding of its mechanics, and that process will never be conservative. Science doesn't move backwards. Calling out conservative backwards is not what I said, but you're free to interpret it as you like. What's not up into debate is this. What makes something science has nothing to do with who works on it. It has nothing to do with the class, or power, or money, or even majority rule. Science is reproducible. No miracles required. Miracles are prohibited. If one person can do it, anyone can do it. And so science is inherently egalitarian. If someone feels that because of that, science has a bias against them, then that speaks only to their own politics, and not to the failings of the scientific community too. Log into your Review Plus account with your passkey or net provider to finish reading this article and see much more. Now, let me see. Likely to occur. Same as that. Interesting. For a pop sci figurehead, Sirius sure keeps busy. I don't have any evidence providing they aren't legitimately brilliant, but I can't take seriously anyone who guest stars on TV that much. Yet that I'd seem to be making progress in new kinds of not renewable energy. Fuels, I guess. New fuels. Some of the only new fuels we've seen in decades. It'll be decades long before it's actually practical. But any new fuel has to be less volatile than hydrogen. Please don't throw that datapad out. Its owner may come back for it. Perish the thoughts. Though now that you planted the idea in my head. That's self-fulfilling prophecy. I think I'm ready to order. Of course. Nah, I'll take this, Sera. Go up the tables for a bit. No one has sat at them since I last cleaned them. Then pretend to clean them like a normal employee. Understood. What's got you so tense? Take a wild guess. Did Sera ask for a raise? Be serious, Red. What happened last night? There's the eyes again. Your information was accurate, for the most part. Pot of mid-levels Blue Bloods had it. Seems like they were told to sit on it. And were they willing to sell? Nope. Laughed at my price, called me a spoiled Meg, and kicked my ass out the door. They weren't curious how you got the information from? Honestly, no. They rushed me out of there pretty fast once they heard my offer. Were they expecting more company? I got the impression they had work to get back to. Aye. Anything else I should know? No. Anything you want to ask me? How'd you two meet? The tables. On my second day, you told me not to over-polish them in order to keep things loppy. Lo-fi. Is this an inappropriate of a question? You've lived in the city for decades, boss, but Adonai doesn't move here until she started her apprenticeship at Masters in... If you're gonna tell people my whole life story at every possible opportunity, I'll just shred my resume and start mailing you around instead. That's a nice dress. And we met, huh? Well, that story's not very good. I'll skip to the end and cut the heart of our relationship, Sera. I pay Renner a finder's fee, and he tells me where I can get high-stakes poker games. Not a lie. Now you know my terrible secret. Disappointed? It's not illegal to gamble. I don't go on my phone and wager my paycheck stubs on point spreads. I gamble. And since I can't afford the entrance fees for one of those anonymous masked ball cult vibe limp casinos the rich go to, I count on your boss here to find me tables to play at. Guilty? So you travel to the lower words to gamble illegally? Truth be told, I've had my suspicions. Seeing you go out in such odd hours without so much as your phone. You gonna turn me in? Irashai! Or is it in my farm? Irashai! Two firm-looking men in finely pressed black suits with shades tinted so dark they must need modded eyes to see from behind them. Despite the suitable color palette, they stand out. It's hard not to in clothes that look that expensive. Clothes with some kind of pin in them. Matching pins. Suit noir. And shade slick. More emphasis on the raw. Oh, thank you. Irashai. Yeah. I think I just heard the delivery drones bumping around outside, Sera. Could you check it out back? Your vintagers might have arrived. Go on. Please excuse me then. Afternoon, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Mr. Diamani? Pardon us for dropping in without first making an appointment. No trouble at all. Still, getting the place cleaned up. I'm awfully embarrassed that I failed to realize the property lay within your borders. If you'd come with me to the back, I'd be happy to settle whatever debt. We look like petty landlords to you. If you owed us tribute, you'd know it by now. My mistake. Well, if you're not here for information, I'll gladly wheel and deal. How about you? We're not here to shop either. We're here looking for Morgan. Well? My name ringing any bells, Mr. Diamani? Right. Listen, boys, I'm not sure... Sorry. Had something blaring in my earbud. I'm A. Morgan, Esquire specifically. How can I be of service? I mostly practice criminal defense, but I do offer a few other services. You two look corporate. I can recommend some good workplace attorneys. I got a business card somewhere. We're not interested in that. Of course not. Well, I'm flattered that you come all the way here to find me. You must have already tried the home office. We can set something up for it. You need to come with us now, ma'am. Hey, I thought you said there was nothing I needed to know. Business day is over for me, two gentlemen. Can this matter wait until tomorrow? Does it look like it can? Great manners, this one. Time sensitive, though. Our bid'll have to reflect that. Send us the bill. We can afford it. Music to any lawyer's ears. So, who is we that? You think you're funny? Compared to you. Morgan. These fine gentlemen are from House Ictaria. Oh, shit. On occasion, information you went out of your way to collect, and... Okay. In previous episodes, we'll unlock new dialogue. Phase to stay informed. I'm familiar. You are? I've seen their name in the papers. I think I do remember that. Not one that we have right now, though. Damn, I wish I could go back and see it. Plastering the names all over Uptown Opera House. Yes, I remember this. I remember that one now, yes. But I didn't recognize that name when those bluebloods were cursing it last night, so maybe that propaganda's working. Doesn't matter how generous they are, at Gallows, they're still the richest and most powerful criminal organization in this city. Rich and powerful, why bother with the criminal qualifier? Sorry, might I ask about the nature of this engagement? The situation is developing, Mr. Diamani. We appreciate your patience. It's not what you want to hear. So I gathered. Your presence has been requested at the family estate, ma'am. For business, or The Icaria are always business. Oh, sorry, the Icaria are always business. Shall we get you your coat? Such gentlemen. Knew those suits weren't just for show. I can see myself out just fine, though. That and I? What's going on? Are you going somewhere? That's why they pay me the big bucks. These men are very athletic. But perhaps I should come with you. If they want you to arm wrestle, you'll be the first to know. Call me when you get there, yeah? If I'm actually in danger, I won't even be conscious when I arrive, but I appreciate the thought. Maybe at the end of this scene, where we get to where we're going. Boss? Who were those men really? New clients from Morgan. Really. Hopefully. Hopefully? Yeah, hopefully. Because if House Sicaria puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like. But what do you mean by house? Alright, pay attention. I'm gonna lecture, might as well try and teach. Start with ice. You want a lot of it, low surface area, so never use crushed, okay? Starts to melt into liquor, waters the whole thing down. Understood. 1.5 ounces of vodka. And what do we look for in a good vodka? Smoothness. Correct. It's the market quality, making the bitter go down easy. So, nobility. You know what that is? Historically, the ruling classes enforced their economic or military might and maintained by familial relations. Juice of a full lime. Look for a little spring and a consistent color across the skin. Nobility. Old money is another word for it. And the older it is, the slower it moves. Only so much wealth you could accrue in one lifetime, collecting from serfs and selling houses, horses. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, shows the world the real wealth acquisition looks like. Then you get new money, which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at any generational wealth. That's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other. Doesn't new money eventually become old money? If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. 777, 1 ounce. My family was new money. Tried to make the transition, go in the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages. Laugh at the bad jokes. Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right. Not the kind of bad I'm talking about. I don't understand. That's alright. You shouldn't need to know. But what do you mean your family was new money? Times changed. About 30 years ago, recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Most people were so scared they could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. So while everyone else panicked selling off everything they could buy food and water, a certain type of personality was buying for pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a pill from that line, shallow as possible. Any white you see is just bitter. 1 ounce of gin. They were rough years, but they passed. At the end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more than they came in with. New money? A new kind of new money. The new nobility. Neobility, if you're writing in a think piece. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When the government of the world tried to reprivatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, medicine. Here enters House Icaria. Or that's how they exited. They were sent into the Red Decade as the Icaria Cartel, drug smugglers and extortionists, thieves and murderers. They came out as one of the richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. Put on the top tight and shake. So they are a crime family? Like the mob? This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. Icaria is not literally one family, not even one race or creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper. But not in practice. Practice is what they're lacking. Haven't had to get their hands dirty, Haven't had to maintain a presence in the lower wards in years. They make the profits from investments, blackmail, and more than a little insider trading. So they're criminal, yes. Their muscles atrophied. Time for a taste test. Ugh, that's not right at all. The hell did I forget? Boss? Hmm? Must have been some other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Others poised to take advantage of the changing times? Yeah. So what did the Icaria do to set themselves apart from the rest back then? Yeah, stupid. Most important ingredient. A drop of grenadine. The Lady Maria. Ooh, it's beautiful. This is nothing. We'd use frosted glasses if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. If you do end up held in red working the Icaria, don't let the warmth of their golden furnishings confuse you. All that glitters is cold. That's a good line. I might change the name later. No, I think I'll keep it. We'll see. We must be at the Icarias then. And that is where we'll leave it. Ooh, nice. Yes, please and thank you. Ah, yeah! Her in the new outfit. Let's go. All right. That's one in the can, folks. That was really good. Pardon me. And we got to see the other Morgan at work too. So we know how both work now. Very informed, let's say. I don't know. It was neat. And we got to see her in a different outfit, which is also good. It's a good one. All right. Well, that'll be it for me tonight, guys. You guys have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week. And I hope you all taking care of yourself. And I will see you tomorrow for... What is it again? I want to say Phantom something or other. Ghost Detective? You know what it is. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Ghost Trick, that's what the fuck it is.